everybody. Welcome back to Astrologic Astrology, the astrology I am. I'm Lorenzo Sanford, and this is Snapshot of the Sky for the week of June 14th. It's the last full week of spring, and so are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for all the light and the energy and the exuberance and abundance of summer? And this week, as we move out of Gemini, we've got a challenging aspect with the Sun and Neptune. So the Sun started this week at 23 degrees of Gemini, and it exactly squares the planet Neptune. Squares are challenging aspects in astrology. It means that there's some blockages, it means that there's some delays, and it means that there is generally a feeling of frustration. And so in this week, you may have started off feeling like that solar eclipse that we just had last week made you somewhat confused because you started off in a new direction, and then immediately we start this week and the Sun squares Neptune. The Sun-Neptune square means that there's some disappointment, to get straight to the point. There's disappointment in something that began because you thought it was one thing, and then, or maybe it was represented as something, but then it turned out to be something different. And when you have disappointments like this, it can be very disillusioning and dispiriting, and it can make you feel like, what is the purpose? Especially since we know that the eclipse is an energy that shakes up things. So you're being shaken, and then, as Led Zeppelin would say, you're dazed and confused. Well, the way to deal with that is to simply pull back and look at everything that's surrounding you and know that you may not be able to proceed with the deliberate haste that you wanted to. You may not be able to move forward with as much with as much force and with as much momentum as you want. However, it doesn't mean that you're not still able to take positive steps forward. They might just need to be smaller steps. They might need to be steps that you allow yourself to not know clear answers for in the beginning, just setting your sights on your North Star, as it were. So that means you may not have all the complete information and the complete steps, but you know what the end game is because you've seen it in your mind and you've visualized it. It's a moment when you have to say, okay, the light is not clear yet. However, I have visualized, I have internalized, I have brought my emotional level to a point where I believe, and I've corrected some of my belief systems and aligned them with my spirit. So now, even though things are slightly unnerving because there's not a clear direction, I can still move forward in faith. And that's the challenge of the Sun-Neptune energy. Where does faith become foolish? Where do dreams become unrealistic? And where do the feelings of not having a clear place turn into something certain? And that question can only be answered with your internal compass. If you've aligned yourself with what your spirit is truly about, if you've been authentic, then though it is dark, though it is yet dark and not yet light, the way will be made. If you've done the work and you've aligned yourself in your truest integrity. Keep the faith. Don't let disappointments and disillusionment over the way things may have begun keep you from seeing the bigger long-term picture. And there is some support for this. There's some additional support for this in the fact that Mars just moved into Leo. So Mars in Leo has left Cancer, and there's no longer any wishy-washiness or over-sentimentality. There's a feeling that you're gathering the resources and the momentum so that when you strike out, you can be consistent and you can be confident. So Mars in Leo is coming to your aid, and it is giving you that energy that's going to push you forward really soon. Mars in Leo is about not letting anyone else's purpose keep you from yours. It's about understanding that we all have a path, and that your path is as vital and as necessary for you to follow as anyone else's. So you can know that the universe is preparing you even now to strike out on your path, the path of authenticity for you, and you will be steady in that path. Mars and Leo is telling us that you will have the inner fortitude to move forward with confidence and to move forward with certainty that you don't have to worry about what other people have. You have what's for you, right? That's really important now because these are new beginnings. And after the eclipse had caused all types of changes and upsets and releasing and set you on a new path, you need to know that you have some stable ground to travel on. And so now that the sun is moving out of Gemini into Cancer, soon, in a week, you'll be feeling more connected to your emotions again, to a feeling of connection with all that you know in your gut. Your gut, based on your heart and your experience and your understanding, your innate sense of understanding, that's all coming to bring you blessings and clarity very soon. So even though we're still in a transitional phase, even though things are just beginning to move forward, and even though it's not exactly clear yet, the way is being made, and I want you to know that the dawn, the new beginnings, are always periods when you have to find your footing, when you have to step forward, test, see what's out there, and then look at it based on your experience, look at it based on the adjustments you've made, and then keep stepping forward. It's your time to keep stepping forward. And the other big energy that we have to account for is that we are in the midst of the second hit, if you will, if I can use that language, of Saturn and Uranus. Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus are once again exactly squaring each other. We talked about this in the beginning of the year, and we said there were going to be 3 times when you had to deal with the exact square from Saturn and Uranus in 2021. Well, the second coming together of these energies is upon us, and they're exact this week. So that means that once again, we're looking at the issues of whether to hold them or fold them. You've got the established way, you've got what you know is the way things have been done, which brings a certain amount of security, and yet there's something pulling at you, urging you, pushing you to do something different. It's the I can't take this job anymore energy. I've got to find something else, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Or it's, oh, if I had the money, I would just do something different. Or it's, I feel that I am meant to do something else, but I just don't know if I can. It's that frustration of, wow, when is this test going to end? And when can I just move into what I know is right for me? So all these energies are combining right now, and Uranus and Saturn are saying, again, know yourself so that you can trust that when you move, if you are breaking free of old patterns and you're leaving old paradigms, you will be supported because you are following an authentic voice from inside. If you find yourself needing to pull back and you need to honor something that is telling you not just yet, that's a valid choice also. But we all are going to have to deal with the push and pull of Saturn and Uranus right now. So know that you're not alone, and know that we're all trying to figure out ways to move forward. It's challenging, yes, but we're all moving and positioning so that we can see a brighter future, and we have to decide what things we need to keep and what things we can forge ahead with, knowing that these are the things that are going to lead us into our destiny. So, yes, things are changing. Yes, things are moving. Yes, some things are still pulling us back and asking us to be sure that we've grounded ourselves before we move forward. It's all a beautiful mix of energy, and you are capable of processing whatever the universe brings to you. So I would just like to encourage you to move forward. We're still in Mercury retrograde for one more week. So this is your last week of testing, recalibrating, and deciding what is working, what has the potential to move forward, even though you're not moving forward with it yet. You have a mix of energy that you're still understanding and absorbing, and so it's all good. Don't despair because things seem uncertain or because you can't seem to move forward yet. You are moving forward just by taking the time to reflect. You had an internal audit last week. The last couple of weeks have been making adjustments. You're coming to clarity whether you know it or not. Even if you've been depressed, depression is a sign that your soul is dealing with a lot of energy and making sense of it. So, breathe, know that you're going to be fine, and know that the universe always is supporting you. And then be prepared for what you're going to do next week when Mercury goes direct. We're no longer in retrograde, and we have a full moon next week. We'll talk about that on the next program. For right now, if you need us, you know where to reach us. Our website is www.astrologicastrology.com. We're obviously on YouTube, and we're also on Instagram at Astrologic Astrology. So enjoy the last week of spring. Be prepared for the light that's coming. And as always, we wish you love and peace. And we say goodbye with the Sanskrit word, namaste. The spirit in me honors and recognizes the spirit in you.